One loss. That's all it took to almost end a career before it truly began. In 2015, a young fighter from a small mountain village in Russia stepped into the octagon for the first time and got knocked out cold in under 2 minutes. His name was Islam Makhachev, and almost nobody outside his tight circle believed he would ever become a champion. But 10 years later, that same fighter would hold championship belts in two different weight classes, something only a handful of men in UFC history have ever done. This is the story of how he got there. Islam grew up in Dagestan, a region in Russia known for producing some of the toughest grapplers on earth. He started training in combat sambo at just 10 years old, a brutal sport that blends wrestling, judo, and self-defense. He trained under a coach named Abdulmanap Nurmagomedov, alongside a young training partner who would go on to become one of the greatest fighters ever, Khabib Nurmagomedov. The two grew up on the same mats, pushing each other every single day. While Khabib became a global superstar early, Islam stayed mostly in the shadows. After that first UFC loss, most fighters would panic. Islam did the opposite. He went back to basics, sharpened his wrestling, and started grinding out win after win, one fight at a time. Nobody was watching closely yet. Then, in October 2022, everything changed. Islam stepped into the cage against Charles Oliveira, one of the most dangerous submission fighters on the planet, for the vacant lightweight title. In the second round, Islam locked in an arm triangle choke and forced the tap. He was UFC champion. But winning the belt is one thing. Keeping it is another. His first challenger was Alexander Volkanovski, a featherweight champion widely considered one of the best fighters on the planet. Their first fight went the full 5 rounds, and Islam survived by the thinnest of margins. Many expected the rematch to be just as close. It wasn't. In the very first round, Islam landed a head kick that put Volkanovski down for good. It was the moment people stopped questioning if he belonged at the top. From there, the wins kept stacking. He submitted former champion Dustin Poirier in a 5-round war. He defended his title again against Renato Moicano. Fight after fight, he made elite competitors look like they had no answers, but Islam wanted more. In 2025, he made a decision that shocked the sport. He gave up his lightweight title completely, walking away from a belt he had defended 4 times, to chase something almost no one else had done. He moved up an entire weight class to challenge for the welterweight title against Jack Della Maddalena, a bigger, younger champion on an 18-fight win streak of his own. Most expected the size difference to finally slow Islam down. In November 2025 at Madison Square Garden, Islam took Della Maddalena down again and again for 5 full rounds. When the scorecards were read, Islam had won by unanimous decision. He became a 2-weight champion, and his win streak reached 16 fights in a row, tying one of the longest runs in UFC history. The kid who got knocked out in his UFC debut had rewritten what was possible. What makes Islam Makhachev unstoppable isn't power and it isn't speed. It's patience, discipline, and the refusal to ever stop improving, even after reaching the top. His story proves that the biggest setbacks often become the foundation for the greatest comebacks. And with his first welterweight title defense already on the horizon, the next chapter of his legacy is about to be written.